In the early morning hours of January 8, 1815, a thick fog hung over the flat fields just south of New Orleans. Behind a muddy canal reinforced with earthworks and timber, an unlikely American army waited in silence. Farmers, frontiersmen, free black soldiers, Choctaw warriors, U.S. regulars, and even pirates stood shoulder to shoulder, weapons ready. Across the open ground, one of the most powerful armies in the world prepared to advance. What followed would become one of the most decisive and dramatic battles in American history, the Battle of New Orleans. By late 1814, the War of 1812 had dragged on for nearly 3 years. The United States had gone to war against Great Britain over issues like British interference with American trade and the impressment of American sailors into the Royal Navy. The war had been brutal and often humiliating for the young republic. Washington, D.C. had been burned. Coastal towns were raided. Both sides were exhausted. In December of that year, diplomats from the United States and Great Britain signed the Treaty of Ghent, officially ending the war. But news traveled slowly across the Atlantic. Neither army fighting near New Orleans had any idea the war was already over. So why was New Orleans so important? It wasn't just another city. It was the gateway to the Mississippi River, the lifeline of American trade and Western expansion. Whoever controlled New Orleans could choke off commerce from vast portions of the United States. The British understood this well. Fresh from victories against Napoleon in Europe, they launched a campaign to seize the city, hoping to either claim it or use it as leverage in peace negotiations. To lead this campaign, Britain sent thousands of seasoned soldiers under the command of Major General Sir Edward Pakenham, a respected officer and brother-in-law of the Duke of Wellington. Defending New Orleans was Major General Andrew Jackson, a man as fierce as the frontier he came from. Known for his iron will and fiery temper, Jackson believed New Orleans must be defended at all costs. Upon arriving in the city, he immediately declared martial law, placing the population under military control. He ordered civilians to help build defenses and demanded strict discipline. Desertion or hesitation would not be tolerated. Jackson's army was anything but traditional. It included U.S. Army regulars, Tennessee and Kentucky militia, Louisiana militia with free men of color, Choctaw Native American warriors, and the notorious pirate Jean Lafette and his Baratarians, whose artillery skills proved invaluable. This diverse force shared little in common except the determination to stop the British. Jackson chose his battlefield carefully. About 5 miles south of New Orleans, he fortified a narrow strip of land between the Mississippi River and a swamp. At its center ran the Rodriguez Canal. Behind it, Jackson's men built a defensive earthwork later known as Line Jackson. They packed dirt into thick embankments, reinforced them with timber, and mounted artillery along the line. From here, American gunners would have clear fields of fire. The British, meanwhile, struggled through swamps and bayous, slowed by mud, disease, and logistical confusion. Their plan depended on a swift, coordinated assault, but delays and miscommunication plagued them from the start. As dawn broke on January 8, 1815, British troops advanced across the open field toward the American line. They marched in tight formations, flags flying, drums beating, an impressive sight, but one fatally outdated against prepared defenses. When the fog lifted, American artillery opened fire. Cannons roared, muskets cracked, rifles, especially those wielded by skilled American marksmen, picked off officers with deadly precision. British soldiers fell in waves, unable to find cover in the open terrain. Despite the chaos, British officers tried desperately to rally their men. General Pakenham rode forward to encourage the attack, only to be struck by artillery fire and killed. Other senior commanders were wounded or slain, leaving the assault to leaderless on the opposite bank of the Mississippi. A smaller British force initially achieved some success, but confusion and lack of coordination prevented them from exploiting it. Within less than an hour, the battle was effectively over. The results were staggering. The Americans suffered fewer than 100 casualties. The British, on the other hand, had over 2,000 killed, wounded, or captured. Rarely in military history had such a lopsided victory occurred between two professional armies. Jackson's defenses had held firm, and the British assault had been shattered. The surviving British forces withdrew, stunned and demoralized, and soon abandoned the campaign altogether. Ironically, the battle changed nothing on paper. The Treaty of Ghent had already ended the war. When news finally reached America weeks later, fighting officially ceased. But in the hearts and minds of Americans, the Battle of New Orleans meant everything. It restored national confidence. It proved the United States could stand against one of the world's great powers. And it transformed Andrew Jackson into a national hero, a reputation that would eventually carry him to the presidency. The battle also became a powerful symbol of unity, showing that Americans from all walks of life could fight together when the nation's future was at stake. Today, the Battle of New Orleans is remembered as a defining moment in early American history, one fought after peace was signed, by an army that shouldn't have worked, and won against overwhelming odds. It stands as a reminder that history is often shaped not just by treaties and politics, but by people, courage, and the chaos of events on the ground. The Battle of New Orleans reminds us that history is full of moments shaped by determination, unlikely alliances, and decisions made under pressure, often before anyone truly understands their consequences. It's a story of people standing their ground, long after the outcome of the war had already been decided. If you enjoy exploring moments like this, where history feels vivid, human, and alive, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more in-depth stories from the past. We release regular videos that go beyond dates and facts to uncover the people, battles, and turning points that shape the world we live in today. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button. It really helps the channel reach more history fans just like you. And let me know in the comments, which War of 1812 story should we cover next? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next chapter of history.